All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining and for this great opportunity to speak again at this wonderful event. And thanks to all the participants who's given their great presentations. My name is Ty Canion. I am the founder and CEO of Canion-3D Incorporated. I am a U.S. Air Force retired veteran. I served over 15 years in the Air Force. And during that time, I've accomplished lots of experience in information technology field. I've worked in system administration, systems engineering, solutions engineering, and across various domains of the defense, automotive, and aerospace industries. Today, I am going to talk about a concept that I've sort of come up with myself, although I won't take all the credit. I'm sure there's other people out there that have thought about it, but I'm going to talk about decentralized manufacturing and how the blockchain can secure 3D printing. So before I get into the conversation about decentralized manufacturing, I'm just going to talk a little bit real quick about my company. So Canion-3D is a technology company focused on the additive manufacturing industry. We were founded in 2015 and incorporated in New York State in the United States in 2019. We have two locations. We're currently located in headquartered in Buffalo, New York area, but we're also located in Stuttgart, Germany, where I'm physically located. As far as our company's products, we have over 100 products in four business units. So we operate in retail, hardware, software, and materials. 12 reseller partnerships. Among those are companies like Sandra, ANET, you name EU makers. The list goes on and on. And we're also our products can also be found on some of the biggest retailers in the world. So Amazon.com, Etsy, Walmart.com, Newegg. The list goes on and on. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. Now, as far as what products we do offer, so we offer 3D printers, of course, from desktop to industrial 3D printers. You can find all that on our website. Our 3D scanners, so from hobbyist to professional, and then software and web applications. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later on in the presentation. As far as 3D printing and additive manufacturing materials, we offer PLA filaments, PET filaments, and MSLA and laser resins by our great partnership with Apply Lab Work. And then as far as our 3D printing service, so we offer a few different options there. We offer SLA 3D printing, which has been mentioned in this during this webinar previously. We use professional 3D printers in our lab from Form Labs, and then we offer fused deposition modeling and also fluid additive manufacturing based from our partnership with Sandra Inc. And then as far as our 3D scanning service, it's a new service that we're offering, and we're very, very happy about that. And then finally, we do a little technology consulting here and there. So we do some IT consulting, we do some Web3 consulting, additive manufacturing, you name it. So what is our mission? So as far as our mission goes, we just want to grow into becoming a game changer in the 3D printing and additive manufacturing space. And being a part of this great webinar is right on top, is right on track with that. As far as providing product services that can benefit society, that's probably the biggest part of our mission. Most of us here are small businesses or involved with doing things from a standpoint of reaching customers, not just for profit, but also to benefit society. So that's something that we really, really hang our hat on. And as far as our mission, so we want to be a trusted advisor of only the best 3D printing products and services, and also to provide our customers with the best customer service, along with building our business at a grassroots level. So we don't have a lot of investment, outside investment. All the employee, the workers at Canion-3D and previous workers at Canion 3D have been very instrumental in growing our business from that standpoint. And then finally, we want to use our platform and business to create opportunities and for building communities and economies globally. All right, so the elephant in the room, we're here talking about 3D printing, and we can all acknowledge that 3D printing is an amazing technology, but what about the integrity of it? So things like intellectual property theft, where 3D printing kind of allows individuals to easily replicate and reproduce objects without original designer's consent. So this can lead to a lot of problems, things like intellectual property theft, things like patents, trademarks, and copyrights. Those things are at stake when you deal with intellectual property. And then as far as counterfeiting, 3D printing can also be used to produce counterfeit goods. So things like fake jewelry, clothing, electronics, these things can have a serious impact on the economy. And we want to try to figure out a way to curtail that. And then weapon production. 3D printing technology, as many of you know, have been used in the past and in the present, and also possibly in the future to create things like firearms. And they can be very difficult to trace and regulate. So this presents a significant security risk to individuals. And then as far as the actual 3D printers themselves, malware injection is something that could easily happen with 3D printers that are connected to networks, and so on and so forth. And then as far as design vulnerabilities, the design files that we use to create our 3D printed objects, those are also vulnerable to cyber attacks. So what's the solution? Decentralized manufacturing. So decentralized manufacturing is a concept where in a manufacturing model that distributes production tasks among individuals or machines using the blockchain. So it combines two emerging technologies, enabling security, transparency, and efficiency. And we'll get more into that later. As far as using the blockchain to secure 3D printing, this can be done a few ways. So we can use Web3, we can use NFTs or non-fungible tokens, and smart contracts. So there's plenty of options out there. So what is blockchain technology if you're not familiar? Well, blockchain technology is a digital system for recording transactions in a way that is secure, transparent, and decentralized. So imagine if there's a ledger that records every transaction made between two people, except that instead of being stored in a central location, it is stored in a network of computers around the world. So every time a transaction occurs, it is added to a ledger and verified by the network. Once it's verified by the network, the transaction is encrypted and added to a block of transactions, which is then added to the chain of previous blocks, forming a permanent and immutable record of transactions, meaning that transaction cannot be changed by anyone that's not a part of the blockchain. And then there's also consensus that goes into that. So this decentralized system means that there's no single person or organization that has control over the ledger, making it very difficult to tamper with. So because of this, blockchain is often used for financial transactions, digital currencies, like the two elephants in the room, Bitcoin and Ethereum, the ones that I'm sure most people are most familiar with, although there's a plethora of other of digital currencies that are out there, and other applications. So web apps, D-apps, those sorts of things are also secure and transparent. And this makes it a great platform for securing 3D printing. So summarily, the blockchain is a consensus mechanism where members can either mine, which is proof of work, or the best example of this will be Bitcoin. And then the second option is proof of stake, which goes in tandem with Ethereum. So let's talk about smart contracts and what they are. So the blockchain technology can have significant impact on the additive manufacturing industry by improving supply chain management, enabling digital rights management, and facilitating decentralized manufacturing. So smart contracts give us that opportunity. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrongs. I really apologize. I need to back up for a second. So the blockchain's impact on technology is very, very significant. So let me go ahead and move on to smart contracts since I've already talked about it. So the benefits of smart contracts, what they do, what smart contracts are, is basically a file that you can create using the Solidity programming language. And what smart contracts do is it can automate many processes in the 3D printing supply chain, from order placement to payment processing. This reduces the need for intermediaries and manual processes, resulting in faster, more efficient transactions. Transparency and trust goes in hand with smart contracts as well, because smart contracts are stored in the blockchain, which provides transparency and immutability. And as far as cost reduction, automating these processes and reducing intermediaries, smart contracts can significantly reduce transaction costs for 3D printing companies. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, intellectual property protection. Smart contracts can include conditions that protect intellectual property rights by ensuring that only authorized parties can access and use 3D printing designs and files. So smart contracts are the way to go. All right, so let's talk about some of the applications that can benefit from decentralized manufacturing. So, and we've already kind of touched on some of these during the other presentations. So in the healthcare industry, as far as protecting patient information and new innovations, this can be a very, very great tool, because I'm sure patients don't want their information out there, and with the blockchain, you can definitely protect that information. Say a patient goes in for an X-ray or an MRI scan, then they want to get it 3D, then they might want to get it 3D printed using a 3D printing service. This can protect that information tremendously with the use of smart contracts in the blockchain. And as far as the automotive industry, protecting the innovations in the automotive industry, such as new designs for vehicles and certain car parts. And then, of course, the aerospace and defense industries benefit from it tremendously, and that kind of goes without saying. Now, as far as construction 3D printing, we've had a few different speakers speak on construction. I think this is probably the best use case, because can you imagine one day instead of buying physical property, you actually buy a digital asset and having it custom built? I think that's the future. And that handsome gentleman you see in the fifth picture there is me standing at the MX3D bridge, which Jeff talked about in his presentation. And I was fortunate enough to go to Amsterdam and visit the bridge, and it is an amazing structure, and I highly recommend anyone to check it out if they're ever in Amsterdam. Okay, so as far as implementation of decentralized manufacturing, it's gonna require expertise in both fields. So 3D printing technology is gonna be understanding 3D printing technology is gonna be key, and then also understanding the blockchain. Perhaps not being an expert in either field, but you're gonna need to know a little bit about both. And as far as the collaboration, collaborating between individual professionals and blockchain experts, that's going to be essential to ensuring that this technology goes forward. And small businesses in the 3D printing industry can utilize the many tools that are available for initial setup. And finally, great infrastructure is going to be needed. So right now we're currently in the development stage. We're testing out several different blockchains, but bigger blockchains, when you add more and more 3D printers and 3D printing systems to the blockchain, is going to require more infrastructure. Okay, so let's talk about some of the challenges that are available, that are in sight. So there's going to be a lot of issues perhaps with standardization and interoperability, because again, you have multiple technologies that are involved with 3D printing. So you have FDM, you have FFF, you have all the different technologies. I could go on and on for days mentioning all of them, but I won't waste everyone's time. Having said that, standardization and interoperability is going to need to be addressed in order for that to be successful. And then as far as costs, there's, again, I mentioned that in the previous slide, but blockchains are not cheap to maintain. So that's something that we definitely need to be aware of. So what is our solution? So what we're doing right now at Canion 3D is we are developing a decentralized application called the Let's Build app. The Let's Build app, which can be previewed on the app's website, which is letsbuild.streamlit.app. What the Let's Build app is going to do, and what it currently does, is it's connected to Web3. So if you have a MetaMask wallet, you can connect to it right away with MetaMask. But our testnet is currently being developed on the Ganache testnet. We're also looking at some other blockchains as well, such as Avalanche and Solana. But right now, we're testing everything out on Ganache to ensure operability. And our front end is going to be using a front end application called Streamlit, which is primarily built for data science and machine learning. So we're going to introduce those concepts into the app as well in the near future. And then finally, the purpose of the Let's Build app is to be a central location for 3D printing products and services for any user. So you can always, you can check out our app at the address above. So why should anyone use this app? Well, it combines everything you need for successful 3D printing processes. So currently, it features a model viewer, a slicer, a service bureau search engine, a Web3 integration, as I previously mentioned, and an NFT creator. So as I mentioned also before, you'll be able to create NFTs from STL files and other 3D printing file formats. And construction design. This is something that we're very, very keen on, very, very optimistic about, as the other gentleman in the webinar mentioned. So that's also something we're looking to add into the app. And then as far as streamlining the design process, we're hoping that it will do that and also reduce costs and save time among users. And then finally, industries and professions such as architects, designers, and engineers can benefit tremendously from using the Let's Build app. So in summary, the Let's Build app and decentralized manufacturing enables the distribution of production tasks among a network of individuals or machines. And then using the blockchain ensures a secure and tamper-proof 3D printing process. And then last but not least, the Let's Build app is going to be developed, is currently being developed to create a space for utilizing blockchain technology in the additive manufacturing industry. All right, that comes to the end of my presentation.